The second part, this is the process we had followed in the community conservation areas, the setting up the capacity building, setting up a framework to manage the community conservation areas. We had committees formed at the village level and also across the villages to manage these forests. The second part which I want to discuss about is jhum shifting cultivation. Traditionally, not traditionally, the widespread belief is that it's a very primitive form of agriculture and there are hardly any benefits which are coming out of jhum. It's very damaging to the environment and it's not sustainable and it needs to be done away with. But what I am going to say here, show here, is that that's not the case. That's not what it is. Jhum is actually evolved over centuries. A lot of thought has gone into this evolution. Centuries of knowledge has gone into this evolution, and it's not just slash and burn. It's a management of a total ecosystem. It's a management of the biodiverse resources which are available to the villagers in the most efficient manner. Of course, there are certain negatives also which need to be taken care of. It has been seen that jhum is one of the most biodiverse. It helps in preservation and proliferation of biodiversity as well as preserve the species and flora and fauna which occur in that area. It is also not as carbon emitting as it is brought out to be. In fact, it has been demonstrated in many studies that the entire cycle, if one takes it, then it might be a net positive gain to the environment. So, in fact, we can use it for accessing some CDM funds or rental funds. Of course, we need to do a bit more study on that. This is not any unsystematic cutting, as I was telling you. The negative aspect with jhum is that there's a lot of soil erosion which takes place, water runoff which takes place. Now, there also systems have been developed. As you can see here, this is a real photograph. A lot of contouring has been done to ensure that soil erosion is minimized. This is a jhum खेती, typical jhum खेती, and this is how using traditional material only, using bamboo poles, using trees and all. This soil erosion is prevented. Now, the second impression which goes is that trees are cut, totally cut in jhum, which is also wrong. Actually, there are some trees which are left for the benefits which trees give. They are maintained through lopping of some of these main branches, and it helps in the forest regenerating. It's only a temporary occupation if one sees it as a forest patch, the entire area. Jhum is only a temporary occupation for three years or so, and for the remaining part of the period, it is left as forest. So it's only a temporary occupation, and trees are allowed to regrow. Now these are some of the trees which are preserved in jhum. The photographs. Some of the trees which are preserved, and they regrow after the harvest. After the harvest, regrows. In fact, a study was conducted through NEPeD at around 21 sites in 10 districts of the state, and we had reached a conclusion that the average jhum cycle is around 9 years, and 872 trees per hectare are harvested during the entire cycle of the jhum. The average volume through this jhum cycle, which is generated, average volume of biomass which is generated is around 188.3 which is higher than the average biomass of Jharkhand. There's no zoom. So it's not that this is environmentally unfriendly. It's a different system of management. There were average number of 50 tree species per hectare in the Zoom area. There are around 60 species which are harvested by the including timber, forest, and non-timber produce, other agricultural things which are harvested during the cycle of the Zoom by the people. And this is tremendous knowledge available with the people. We are afraid with the models will not be available to the next generation. How do we ensure that this generational transition takes place, and the knowledge which is available with the current generation for about the biodiverse resources in the village, they are preserved, this knowledge is preserved and transferred. This is a major challenge which we are facing, because on the one hand there is migration pressure, on the other hand people are losing interest in the because of Zoom. These are the biodiversity resources. Biodiverse resources, you can see this is a lot of, as I told you, around 60 varieties of this thing. This is this I have already talked about. It's the benefits of Zoom. Having said all these, there are still some negative impacts of Zoom on the environment. There are still some improvements which are possible. Till now, I don't think we've introduced any modern technologies. Basically, traditional knowledge only which is used. There's no research to introduce modern technology in better management of these Zoom practices, which has gone anywhere in the country. This is a need. I think we need to, instead of just, this is again the second, this is again pointing to the same thing. We cannot impose the same standards all across the country. We have to understand the diversity which is available, diversity of agricultural practices, agroforestry practices which are available in the country, and we have to build on these. We cannot just junk the existing practices which are there without actually realizing. This is an oft-repeated, oft-heard thing that Zoom and shifting cultivation is very damaging, and we need to move away from Zoom. Instead, our government, the state, is saying that we don't need to move away from Zoom, but we need to improve the way Zoom is done in the state. We need to introduce modern practices in the way Zoom is practiced. Now, these are Elinor Ostrom, most of you might have heard, very noted economist, won a Nobel Prize also 2 years back for her work on natural resources. These are the 10 variables which she talks about when you have to design any framework for community participation or community management of natural resources. I go back to this again and again whenever I have to think of systems in the state. These are the 10 principles, 10 variables which I think we have to address. The size of the resource system. She says if the size of the resource system is too big, community management of that will be very difficult. Again, if the size of the system is too small also, it will not be of much benefit. So a medium level system is what is required. Productivity of the system. What does it provide you? What are the benefits it gives to the community? Unless you are able to match that, again, these are the 10 rules. Again, social capital, for example, is very important for Nagaland. We have the traditional systems, but to tap this social capital, again, we need the right kind of leaders to come in. We cannot generate systems, viable systems, without the leaders who are there to manage the social capital. I give an example. We have in Kohima district, in Seminole subdivision of the Kohima district, Sindhenu and Tresinu These are two of the villages where community conservation efforts which started off the entire movement in the 90s. They are the leaders. This is where from it came up. Now, why did it generate from there? Why did the community conservation? There are examples which are cited everywhere in Nagaland, that these are the places where community conservation actually started. Now, two of the leaders in the village, they spearheaded